Давай, coach. They're both against me because they want me to lose. I was doing it when we were together. It was 3.3. And like somehow, and when he went here, he did 4.0. Go.
Arman Tsarukyan has started training with Khamzat Chimaev ahead of his massive UFC 331 fight against Mauricio RUFFY.
With money, bro. I'm broke, bro. I'm broke. Tell him money is not everything. I told him like, bring the normal cars here and he comes Ferrari, Lamborghini, or these things. Coach.
What'd you drink today?
Today is we need him make humble, coach.
Well, today
I'm broke.
Today you're broke?
Yeah.
When you do fight, you don't do side quests. It's all fight.
Yeah.
All for the fight. The whole camp is preparation for fight.
Yeah.
No side quests.
No way.
Right.
I mean, I live for MMA, bro. Like,
I get it.
yeah, so. And you cannot compete in MMA if you're gonna do side quests.
The stakes for this fight are enormous on both sides. Tsarukyan is the #1 contender at lightweight and has been told that a win over RUFFY guarantees him the next title shot against Justin Gaethje. Plus, he's getting a solid financial incentive to take this bout. He already earned a title shot in most people's eyes after submitting Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar. But the UFC decided he needed one more win. That has to sting. But Arman is handling it like a professional. For RUFFY, this is the kind of opportunity most fighters dream about. Beat the top contender and skip the entire line straight to a championship fight. Both guys are fighting for their futures here, and that's what makes this co-main event so compelling.
I've never been sold on Hoofy. I'm pretty sure he's every bit of 30, so easy on the prospect stuff. He doesn't have a lot of great wins. I think BSD kind of exposed the blueprint when it comes to him. His fight at the White House was basically just a hit job. They set him up with every bit of 40-year-old Michael Chandler. So he got that rub. I just don't see how he gets past Arman Tsarukyan. I think Arman finishes him under 3. Now, it's MMA, so Hoofy could land a flying knee, some big shot, But outside that first round, Hoofy's going to get ragdolled. It's their strength of schedule and fighters that they've beat to get to this point. It's not even remotely close.
Tsarukyan has been keeping himself busy between fights by competing in wrestling and submission grappling events, which shows the kind of competitor mentality he carries. But now his entire focus is back on the cage and chasing that lightweight belt. There's also a really interesting personal angle to this. Arman mentioned that his father gets nervous watching his fights, so he wants to finish RUFFY as quickly as possible to spare his dad the stress of a long battle. He flat out said he doesn't need 25 minutes and wants to get the job done fast. That's equal parts wholesome and terrifying if you're RUFFY.
Arman, can you beat Mauricio RUFFY?
Yes.
Are you going to beat Mauricio RUFFY?
Yes.
And what does RUFFY do well?
He does well striking, so he has a good right hand, left hook, kicks okay, and spinning kick very well, but like mostly it's a right straight hand. I mean, he can stop me my first takedown, second takedown, but what about if I'm gonna shoot 25 minutes, how he's gonna stop? It should be 5 rounds because it's a co-main event, big card, and contender #1. I don't need 25 minutes. I'm going there and make it job easy and quick. I want to make it as soon as possible and quick.
Michael Bisping dropped some really sharp analysis on this matchup. The former middleweight champion broke down exactly what went wrong for Chandler against RUFFY and warned Tsarukyan not to make the same mistake. Chandler basically dove in for takedowns without throwing punches first, and RUFFY picked him apart because of it. Bisping compared it to how Mackenzie Dern successfully used her striking to set up grappling when she defended her strawweight title against Jillian Robertson at UFC 330 the week prior. His point was clear. Arman needs to punch his way into takedowns instead of just shooting from the outside against a taller, longer fighter like RUFFY.
I think his well-roundedness will get him done, but it's a very big test.
If the fight stays on the feet,
yeah,
Arman gets knocked the fuck out. No, he does. He does. I'm telling you right now.
That's great. Ruffy himself is handling this build-up with a ton of maturity. He's not trash-talking or making wild predictions. He acknowledged that Tsarukyan is probably the toughest challenger in the entire lightweight division and that the wrestling is going to be a serious test. But he's confident that his preparation will speak for itself, including time he spent training in Thailand after the Chandler fight.
I just think he's overrated, man. But what I was saying is I've never been sold on Hoofy. I'm pretty sure he's every bit of 30, so easy on the prospect stuff. He doesn't have a lot of great wins. I think BSD kind of exposed the blueprint when it comes to him. His fight at the White House was basically just a hit job. They set him up with every bit of 40-year-old Michael Chandler. So he got that rub. I just don't see how he gets past Arman Tsarukyan. I think Arman finishes him under 3. Now, it's MMA, so Hoofy could land a flying knee, some big shot, But outside that first round, Hoofy's going to get ragdolled.
Now Paddy Pimblett decided he needed to be part of this conversation too, because of course he did. After picking up a quick win over Benoit St. Denis in the co-main of Holloway versus McGregor in July, Paddy said he would absolutely terrorize both Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria if they ever fought. He claims he has zero respect for Arman, calling him a rich kid living off daddy's money and supposedly eating $2,000 caviar for breakfast. He respects Topuria despite their years-long beef, but gives Arman nothing.
But if I fight Ilia or Arman, I'm on it absolutely rinse their lives. I'm just going to absolutely terrorise them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I fight like Max Holloway or Charles Oliveira, I wouldn't, because I respect them and I like them.
Yeah.
I respect, don't get me wrong, I respect Ilya, but we've had beef for years. I think he's a little helmet. So I'd love to fight him and give him shit. But Arman, I don't.
That's a phenomenal. Bro, he calls people sausages. It's the best fucking thing in the world. I'm telling you.
Arman Tsarukyan, I've got no respect for at all. He's just a rich kid. He's like, daddy's a millionaire.
As for Topuria, the former 2-division champion is still on the shelf recovering after losing his belt to Gaethje in that shocking upset at UFC White House. Tsarukyan actually suggested that Chandler would be a good comeback fight for Topuria, essentially calling it an easy matchup, which is a subtle but effective dig.
So there's a couple of names, obviously. We don't know where they're going to be matched up. One's coming off of a loss, one's coming off of a win. We'll start with Paddy Pimblett. Let me get your thoughts on him and where you think he ends up next.
I think he's probably fight with somebody who was probably with Max Holloway, maybe in November, and then fight for the title.
And then Ilia Topuria, where do we see him next?
I think Ilia Topuria fight with somebody like a Chandler. He fights with a Chandler and then fight for the title again.
Down the line, I know you're focused on the title, solely on the title, but if you had to pick one of the two to fight between Paddy or Ilia, who would you go with?
Ilia.
For sure?
Yeah.
Why?
I want that fight more than with Paddy.
The lightweight division is absolutely loaded right now with Oliveira, Holloway, Pimblett, and Topuria all lurking. But Arman is focused on one thing: beat Ruffy, fight for the title, and then pick his opponents from the champion's seat. For the prediction, Tsarukyan's wrestling should be the deciding factor if he mixes his attacks properly, and he likely gets this done inside 3 rounds. But Ruffy's knockout power makes every exchange on the feet genuinely dangerous.